All right!
So we just got done watching Sailor Moon S.
Season 3.
Episode 7.
Lucky number 7, boys.
Cold-Hearted Uranus, a.k.a. Uranus. Makoto in danger.
Now, who's Makoto? Fans at home,
Makoto,
answer in the comments below.
Makoto Kino. Who is that? Who's the Kino character?
Who's the Kino character?
There's only one Kino character.
Sailor Jupiter, motherfucker.
Sorry about the language.
Okay, straight off the bat, this episode starts off, and we got a throwback to, I think, the second last review we did. JP mentioned something about some of these more tomboy-ish characters.
Yeah, and I was speculating that Sailor Jupiter was kind of projected to be outside the heteronormative.
And I with my blind eye, I was like, okay, sure, I suppose. Someone was bang on the money because we had seen that all the other sailors were interested in Sailor Uranus, aka Haruka, and then they found out Haruka
under
was
the
guise of being a man.
Yes.
At this point, Makoto, aka Sailor Jupiter, is fully well aware that she is female, and is fallen smitten. What's the word you use? It's not love. Not lust. Maybe lust.
Lust is where you want to fuck somebody.
It's the other one.
Love.
No, it's not love. It's like before that when you're. I think it is lusting. She's like lusting after her. She's smitten. She's smitten.
Smitten is the best word. Yeah.
That is the most simple term to use.
Anyway, so this episode centers around what I think is going to be the convention for the next. I'm gonna speculate 3 episodes, maybe 4.
We saw a thumbnail of the next episode. We don't know what it's about, but based on the thumbnail, and we read one word in the title, which is Ami. So
we're going after people of the pure of heart. We're trying to the other planetary sailors. Go off, dude. Are trying to find these talismans, but unfortunately, all of these talismans are just these little sort of
pure hearts.
They're pure hearts in the form of almost like
they look like a Christmas tree.
They look like I was going to say they look like a mix of like a dream catcher and like a wind like a quirky wind chime. You know?
Yeah, it's like imagine a cross, but with like the cross center part is like a solar flare starburst, and they're made of like wood.
Yeah. So this episode starts with Makoto, right? That's the character's name. Who is Sailor Jupiter, last name Kino, for my Slash TV browsers out there. Wink, wink. What's up? I can't just do shit like that and then get right back into the groove all the time.
I don't even remember what happened.
Yeah, so she gets hit. She almost gets hit by like an Akira-esque Haruka driving a motorcycle, and then saves Sailor Moon, and then has sort of a sort of love at first sight, even though they've seen each other before, moment with Haruka, and is like, wow, holy fuck, like I'm into this girl, the episode was pretty fast paced with the villain showing up in the scarf. That was before the ad break in the middle.
So to clearly explain the villain. Sailor Jupiter gets
the item is a scarf in this episode.
But in on the wiki the name's shown up as Scar, which is interesting. But I looked up scarf; it was saying scarf in the subtitles. But
the wiki's a little is a little sus.
Anyway, Uranus notices that Jupiter's hand's bleeding, so she wraps a little scarf, like more so than a scarf. It's like one of those things that Fred from Flintstone.
Oh, like an ascot.
An ascot around her hand. And then she's like, oh my goodness, this ascot, it's my excuse to give it back to her. And then it starts blowing off in the wind. She goes and chases it.
Did we say the title of the episode?
I did, yeah. Cold-Hearted Uranus. I did, I said
okay,
it.
Great,
sure.
Whatever. Yeah.
Anyway, it blows off, and then unbeknownst to the enemies, what was that? Unbeknownst to the enemies, the Diamond Egg infects the scarf and is trying to steal Sailor Jupiter's heart, except unlike the prior people whose hearts have been stolen, Sailor Jupiter is still actually very functional. She's not catatonic. She's able to exist, etc. One thing I think is very interesting, which I liked. I like when they do stuff like this. It's interesting seeing this in anime for sure, is they were all, Sailor Moon was there and being like, oh no, are you interested in Haruka? She's a woman, et cetera, and then they're kind of laughing it off. And then Sailor Moon's talking to all her friends about what's happening. And then Sailor Mars is like, what? But she's a woman. How could that be happening? And then Sailor Mercury says that's not the issue. It doesn't matter. It's not the issue whether she's a woman or not. That's not even an issue. The issue is that she could be in danger because her heart's being stolen.
Her heart's being stolen.
And not stolen in a negative way by Sailor Uranus, stolen by the bad guys. So
the bad guys, and it's simply because they're not there to protect her.
Yeah, they just want to protect her.
So basically, they even actually use the word orientation in this episode. They say, did she change orientation?
Is her orientation
Which is, we were talking about ginger erasure before. That is genuine, bi erasure.
Yeah.
It's a binary of sexuality. You're either homo or heterosexual.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess for at the time, perhaps in 1994 Japan, we can say maybe 1992 Japan when the manga would have been written. It could have been earlier than that.
Yeah, I don't know if this stuff was in the manga.
I assume everything, there's not going to be adding this stuff to the show. I think that...
Probably not. I mean, the manga doesn't have a ton of issues, though, relative to the amount of episodes of the series.
Well, yeah, because it's a lot of filler.
We're going to find out once we...
Anyway, it's very interesting, this show. I also was wondering while watching this, I know that there's only 176 episodes of the Western release or something like that.
Yeah, but it's a lot of it. They cut a couple episodes, but a lot of it is they put some of those lengthier arcs at the end of the season and they splice them into singular episodes.
I wonder if Sailor Moon,
and there's no clip show episodes.
I wonder if Sailor Moon S was one of the seasons that had a lot of stuff cut because
I would think
while watching this, I have a hard time believing you could have spun this in a way that Sailor Uranus was not yearning for. Sailor Jupiter was not yearning for Sailor Uranus. I don't know how you could have edited this episode.
I think you would have cut this episode altogether.
Yeah, I don't know how you could have edited it in a way.
Can we find that up? Can we pull that up?
Well, we'll pull it up after and we'll bring it up next time. I don't want to...
Next episode.
We'll bring it up in our next review.
Okay.
We'll check it after. I don't want to pad the runtime of the review.
But I liked that they kind of resolved the Jupiter having same-sex feelings for... there's so many of them, Uranus. By kind of changing it into being an admiration. They use the word coolness. I admire her coolness is the word they use.
But she was very much attracted to her, and she was not...
oh, man, we forgot some stuff. That's crazy.
She wasn't...
they start using the term Messiah in this episode. You remember that?
Correct, yeah. So in the prior episodes, both the... which is interesting. The professor and Kalanite or something.
Yeah, that sounds right.
They're trying to get the Holy Grail. They're trying to get the talismans to get the Holy Grail.
Right.
So they've mentioned that periodically throughout the other episodes. The sailor, in the last episode, the outer planet sailors were talking about we got to get the Holy Grail, the talisman to get the Holy Grail. And in this episode, they don't mention anything about the Holy Grail. They talk about the Messiah.
The Messiah.
And upon this episode, JP was wondering, I bet the Messiah is going to be Sailor Moon. And I was thinking perhaps the Messiah will be Chibiusa, and that will be Chibiusa's reintroduction to the show as being the Messiah. Because I feel like it's got to be related to Sailor Moon, and Chibiusa is obviously very much related to Sailor Moon.
Yeah, she's future daughter.
Well, her official daughter from the future, from a new era.
But what was your critical thoughts on this episode?
It was fine. It wasn't anything great.
I thought the pace of this episode was quite confused because we got to the Freak of the Week really early. I liked the convention of it being a Jupiter episode. But it kind of overstayed its welcome.
Here's another thing being said. I've dunked on Sailor Jupiter before, being like she's boring.
I've always been.
Yeah. So here's the thing. She had more character development, and possibly it's a retroactive top-down processing where she gets character development. And I know more about her personality, and then upon seeing her use her attacks, I'm like, you know what? Her attacks are pretty cool. Perhaps
wide space or something like that.
Yeah, okay, we can look that up. Sailor...
No, it's going to pad the episode.
No, this is quick, because we were trying to find out about the cut episodes. Sailor Jupiter attack. Anyway, her attack, I think, is very cool. Thunderbolt. Lightning bolt. She shoots something cool.
That's early seasons. I don't want to see this stuff if it spoils.
Yeah. Anyway, she had her transformation. She did her transformation in this, and she always has that.
Sailor Crystal looks sick.
That she had. Okay, that's okay. Here's a little future. I have by accident. I was not paying attention to it. I was too busy playing Resident Evil Village, looking at Lady Dimitrescu. But on the other side,
that's the really tall girl, right?
The tall girl. I did see some Sailor Moon Crystal, and one thing I can say is Sailor Moon Crystal. I think it's going to be a more action-packed thing. It's going to be cut, condensed. good. I don't really love the art style, but I'm excited for it. We'll be reviewing Sailor Moon Crystal.
Yeah,
in due time.
Alert,
probably when we finish this, and I don't know, next month, July 2022, we'll be watching Sailor Moon Crystal because we're so consistent in watching this. Anyway,
we only started this 3 or 4 months ago, and now we're
nearly halfway done.
Halfway done.
This has been a very short project for us. It's not a lot of work.
Yeah, this hasn't been major at all.
No, it hasn't been 6 years nearly. 6 years nearly.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 6 months max.
I'm not almost 42.
I'm not almost 15. I've been a preteen for the whole time we've been watching this.
Anyways, okay, so this I thought this episode was pretty good. I liked it. It focused on Sailor Jupiter. I thought as I said, the pacing was weird because it's the Freak of the Week showed up early. Sailor Jupiter had her thing stolen. It moved really fast, and then towards the end, it burnt out. I don't fucking remember what happened. And we just watched it.
I made a judgment call, and I was incorrect with my judgment call. However, it's very much leading towards what we're expecting. I keep thinking that maybe the Outer Planet Sailors have found their quote-unquote humanity. Yeah. And I thought that this episode was, Sailor Uranus will realize it's been taken from Makoto, and she is she's clearly with Neptune, but she has at least feelings of admiration towards Jupiter. She's not quote unquote attracted to her, but she's whatever.
She's into it.
However, when she was, because it's dumb. The sailors still cannot recognize who is who when they're in sailor form. It's very dumb. It's a cliche of the show. They're not going to change that. Sailor Uranus and Sailor Jupiter have a little bit of a fight. They're very much. They've got a good relationship.
That was a good.
Sailor Uranus actually sucker punches Sailor Jupiter in the gut.
Yeah, when she goes to attack,
she's standing in the way of getting the pure heart. It's her pure heart, but they're like, you can't be killing people. And Sailor Uranus, that's why it's called cold-hearted Sailor Uranus.
Yeah.
And I almost get the weird feeling that when Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune are in their sailor form, they're very much disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a Shazam type thing where they switch their form and they're aged up. It's a completely different character.
Sure, but the sailors age, if we remember earlier, they sort of age up when they change.
They all do.
That was established in season 1. We kind of have forgotten that since.
Their mental memory is consistent for the inner planets.
Sure, yes.
For these outer planets, because Sailor Uranus was knocked down, and it almost seemed like she didn't know exactly what had happened to her.
Also, it's kind of unclear if Uranus and Neptune know that.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do.
I think both ends do not recognize each other, which I absolutely hate.
It's a cheap trope.
I would like it more if the sailors looked significantly differently.
It's like I'm Superman. I'm Clark
Well, it's
Kent,
exactly
right?
that, but it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense in anything. So I guess you can give the pass to Superman because it's you're seeing Superman.
And also, it started this trope.
But they interact with each other in both forms and talk to each other.
Yeah.
So it's just dumb. It's dumb that superhero can't recognize superhero. I
thought this was a good episode, not a great episode.
I think it was a slightly above average episode.
It also had plot. Plot.
This is the thing. It's an above average episode.
We're developing relationships amongst the outer planet and the
average
outer planet
episode
sailors.
is bad. This episode was bad, but above average. It was above average bad because the Sailor Moon. I've gotten to the point. I've gotten to the level where I can say it is. And I say this when I'm not watching the show. I say Sailor Moon is a bad show. It is not a very good show. It's not that well made. It looks very good. It's one of those things that if I would have watched this when I was 6 years old, I would have gone crazy over.
Yeah, and I did. And
I didn't. I didn't know what anime was until I was probably 13.
Yeah. I've been a lifelong. As I said, I studied abroad in Japan, and
he lived there. He was born there, born and raised.
I was born. That doesn't count. We moved
back to Quebec.
Yeah.
Moved to Montreal, learned some French, and moved back to Japan. Yeah.
My parents still randomly speak Japanese sometimes. It's kind of weird.
Well, sometimes say some random things, and JP, he's got a good ear for it.
I got a good ear for it. Yeah. I noticed in the subtitles in this episode, they actually didn't. It said woman in the subtitles, but they were actually saying person. Yeah, which in Japanese.
I'm so thankful that we got someone who has some first-hand knowledge with this language, because beyond that, all of us Western English,
we just have to trust
those Anglophones. We have to trust what the subtitles are, and I can see through it a bit. These subtitles, they might be trying to push a different.
They're usually pretty decent, and a lot of them just simplify in a way where it's fine. It just westernizes it in a way that's just more palatable for the English language. A lot of the new, like, there's no nuance lost. But when you're dealing with issues of gender, like you are in this episode, and orientation and such, it's important. And it's interesting that the subtitles chose to actually lean on it more when they were intentionally being vague in the language. But it might also imply future episodes dealing with the subject of sexuality. I know that's a big point of conversation culturally when talking about Sailor Moon, is this specific story arc we're in right now. Another thing I wanted to note, that we to go back a bit, when the sailors are all discussing Jupiter's affinity for Uranus.
Uranus.
Jupiter's
affinity for Uranus.
Yeah, for Uranus. Is
Jupiter loves Uranus.
Yeah, she loves Uranus. And they were like, Ami is clearly like the most progressive of the three. Because there's three of them there.
Which I have to say is interesting, because Ami is also the most academic.
Yeah,
she's both.
But she's also like clearly like a bookworm. You know, she's read some like fiction.
She's read up on some at the time modern and progressive books.
Oh yeah, because there was Mishima is from Japan. He's a gay man. I don't know.
I still haven't watched it. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's like integral to the Mishima story.
Okay, this is I'll ignore the review. That is an amazing album. I've listened to the album probably 6 times, and I've not seen the film yet.
Oh, the Philip Glass score you're referring to. It amplifies
so good.
And also an excellent film.
Is it Kyoko's House? One of the songs is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, Paul Schrader directed it. He's a super great director, great writer, better writer than he is director.
I've downloaded it. I got a 5 gigabyte version, which is probably...
Dude, it's super watchable too. Like, it's produced by Coppola and Lucas.
I told Kate to watch it.
Oh yeah, she would.
And also, it's like, my issue is that I know enough about him and know the ending.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know anything. I've told her, it's like, and it all...
You don't know about him. It's like, that's a crazy story.
Yeah. You know what else is crazy is how he's got a current modern following.
Yeah,
by a group of people who, it's like, I didn't know he was...
the incels like Mishima. Yeah. Anyways, to get back to Sailor Moon orientation, what was I saying? So there's in the scene where the 4 of them are discussing Jupiter's affinity for someone of the same sex. And same sex, I'm using the sort of binary that the show itself is playing with. Yeah, she's a good artist.
This album is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I remember I messaged.
Let me talk about Sailor.
Okay, yeah, I'll talk to you
about Sailor. And it's like, so Ray has like a kind of like weird magazine that I believe is pulled out by Sailor Venus. It's like, yo, you like this? What the hell's wrong with you? And it's a magazine of like a character who looks like Tuxedo Mask, but he's got kind of like lipstick.
Yeah,
on.
it's also the art on the magazine was very interesting. It was really, they put a lot of effort into drawing the magazine cover, because it was like a different stylized anime art, which looked like a real life magazine.
I thought it was interesting.
Also, I was kind of getting a kind of funny thing of them saying this is not the issue.
Yeah,
and then there's also like an issue of a magazine. It's almost,
that's true.
I mean,
that doesn't translate.
I don't think so. I think it was just like a happen chance English.
Dual
meaning.
It doesn't translate.
I acknowledge that as a anglophone viewer.
But yeah, I like this episode again.
I like this episode more upon reflection. This review made me recall more. It was interesting. I take it back. Sailor Moon is somewhat worthwhile show watching. I'm glad that we watched it, even though I do have my gripes. I have my gripes against.
So do I.
I think the worst 2 characters in the show are Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask. We're
going to agree on that.
I absolutely despise them.
I wasn't crazy about Chibiusa, except for the one episode where Chibiusa has the weird fantasy where she kills Sailor Moon. That was pretty sick.
I really did like Black Lady. I think Black Lady is the coolest Sailor Moon, Sailor-esque design.
Yeah, that was a fun part.
I like her dress over top.
Because that art blew, but that part of the art was
fun. I also... we can acknowledge some technical difficulties we had. I think we had a review of one of those Sailor Black Lady things, and it seems like we had to rewatch it. We had to rewatch it an episode or 2.
Yeah, we did, because we lost the reviews or
something. From my memory, I thought Black Lady was a single episode character. She was a multiple episode character, and I'm glad
3 or 4.
We got to see her enough. She was cool. Her motivations were dumb. Mm-hmm. I didn't like the issue with that. It was dumb. It was stupid. Black Lady was cool. I liked her hair. Something I thought in the last episode, I'm kind of rambling, is it was actually in the love episode with the love contest, is Sailor Moon's name is Usagi. As JP informed me, Usagi is the Japanese word for rabbit.
Yes.
There was a scene transition where it was a rabbit outline, and I saw that. I'm like, oh, I forgot that her name's actually Rabbit.
Rabbit, yeah.
And right. There's also, which
sort of a John Updike reference.
JP, thankfully, let me know, is that there's a Japanese saying that kids would often talk about, is that the moon, I think it's the moon is cheese, and that a rabbit lives on the moon. Something to do with them, or the dark side, the shadow of the moon looks like a rabbit. Something to do with that.
That's you're close, but yeah.
Usagi's last name is Tsukino, and the moon is Suki.
That's right.
As a native, at one point native Japanese speaker would say.
Sort of.
So I forget that
I'm like secondhand.
She has rabbit, big rabbit energy. Big bunny energy in some part.
And they call her Bunhead too, but that doesn't translate
Bunhead
the same way.
Was
that you
Dumpling
say
Head in the English dub. I think it was Meatball Head. She was Meatball Head.
Meatball Head which
is dumb. Bunhead's good. Dumpling Head is. I think Bunhead's better.
I think Bun. If my Japanese is correct, I think that they those are different nicknames, genuinely.
Perhaps,
and that it's not the subs messing with us.
Yeah, that
because Bunhead is a Haruka name. Dumpling Head was early Mamoru kind of what's the word, nagging her.
If Mamo-chan was a real person that I knew, I wouldn't hang out with him because I'd consider him a groomer.
Yeah, he's also a bit of a pickup artist.
I'd say he's misogynistic a little bit.
Yeah. Well, he at least enforces pretty classic patriarchal.
I don't recall his name. I love the arcade boy.
Yeah, Motoki.
If arcade
Motoki's
boy was
a sweetheart.
Real,
I think we're gonna see him again. The fact that we saw his sister in this last one, and that him and Venus were kind of having a little play thing, and we seem to be doing a lot of pairing up again.
This is another thing I'm interested in, because we've talked about this, is Ray's pseudo-boyfriend.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I think it's with a K.
I thought he was the arcade boy, but I must be mistaken.
No. He was kind of he had long hair. He was kind of a goofball. Can we look it up?
Yeah, Sailor Ray boyfriend.
We're already at this. Ray boyfriend.
Ray Boyce. No, my goodness gracious. Yeah, Sailor Moon.
I don't want to see spoilers.
No, I just want to know. Sailor Moon, bro.
Ray's first date. Yeah, we'll see it here. His name was revealed for the first time.
I think she dated Mamoru, bro.
Oh, yeah, she did try to date Mamoru.
Let's go back.
This is early.
Ray, boyfriend, Sailor Moon.
I just don't want to see any spoilers here.
No, we won't see.
Oh, it's that guy.
Dude, that was a picture from literally the last fucking episode. Oh, dude, holy shit, that guy's awesome.
Yeah, he was awesome. You don't remember him?
No, I don't remember.
Riichiro.
My goodness.
Shipping fandom.
My goodness, I grow my bangs out and I could just...
that's where you put them together.
Be him.
Riichiro.
Holy shit.
Friends,
Canonical,
one-sided crush.
semi-canon.
Were they not dating?
What? Type het. Holy shit. That's wild.
Shipping fandom.
The fan-on. Whatever the fan on. I've heard that word. I don't know.
I feel like we'll see him again.
Also known as you. Dude, I think this is a fake name that they've invented.
What's their names together? Riichiro. Riichiro Kamada.
Is a het ship. No, this is a ship, bro.
Yeah, this isn't it.
This is some fake stuff.
Yeah.
This is, I don't. If she was into, dude, this guy looks like Samurai.
This wasn't the guy.
Holy shit! You know Samurai Cop?
Yeah, I do know. He looks
Samurai Cop. Okay, I won't Google. He looks like.
I actually started watching that the other day.
My goodness.
Fell asleep though. Yeah. Okay. I've seen enough.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, we've seen enough.
We've seen this character before.
Yeah, Jadeite.
But we haven't. Holy shit!
He looks good. Man. Okay.
The Sailor Crystal Jadeite looks good.
That's the guy. That is the guy right there.
Fuck! Holy shit! That dude looks like a greasy man.
Yeah, episode 30, Grandpa loses control, Ray's in danger. Yeah.
Grandpa loses control. You better be, in the Sailor Moon lore, you better be careful when Grandpa loses control, because we've already seen him drug the sailors.
Yeah, that was a little messed up.
That was, that's why JP's like pro-Grandpa, I'm anti-Grandpa.
Yeah, I just think it's a fun trope.
Grandpa loses control. Anyway,
thanks for watching.
Yeah, that's the thing we say.
Thanks for watching.